Goeiemôre Blessies, welkom by ons 4de weergawe van die Blitz Conversations. Die vorige week het ons gepraat met die voormalige Protea hokkiespeler Nicole Fleur. Hierdie week is ons bevoorreg om vir Ryan Oosthuizen by ons te hê. Ryan is 'n speler wat gekontrakteer is deur die Blitzbokke. En hy het ook in 2017 sy debuut gemaak vir die Springbok 7 span. Ryan, baie dankie vir jou tyd en dankie dat jy bietjie met ons kan so 'n elke kritinkie gooi so. Ryan, sê vir my in 2017, voor ons dit begin, wil jy net jouself voorstel net vir die luisteraars? Ja, waarvanaf kom jy en wanneer jy begin verlief raak op rugby?
Alright, hallo almal. Okay, my naam is Ryan Oosthuizen. Groot geword hier so in die noordelike voorstede in Brackenfell, Protea Hoogte, is waar ek tans bly. Ek het skool gegaan by Laerskool Bastion, my hele laerskoolloopbaan daar klaar gemaak, saam met bekende speler Andrew Liebenberg. Ek en hy het saam gespeel, hy speel nou vir die Bulle en toe gaan hy oorsees, ek en hy daar ons laerskoolloopbaan klaar gemaak. Toe gaan ek 2008 toe gaan ek oor Hoërskool Brackenfell toe, 'n jaar en 'n half daar klaar gemaak en toe kry ek die geleentheid om Pelgrim toe te gaan. Vanaf Pelgrim het my rugby loopbaan net opgegaan. Ek sal sê, dit was seker die beste besluit wat ek kon maak om my rugby ernstiger te vat en na die groter skole toe te gaan. Niks teen die kleiner skole soos Brackenfell en so aan nie, maar Gim was maar bekend vir rugby en dit was altyd 'n droom vir my om na groter skole toe te gaan om my rugby verder te vat. Van daar het ek net meer geleenthede gekry in terme van beter afrigting en so aan. Die ouens saam met wie ek gespeel het was goed. Toe van daar het ek die geleentheid gekry om in daai tyd was dit so 'n WP Elite Squad. So vanaf onder 16 tot onder 18 was ek in so 'n WP Elite Squad gewees. Ek het nog niks sevens gespeel by daai tyd nie. Dit was nog altyd die droom om 'n Springbok te word. En toe graad 11 teken ek my eerste kontrak by WP. Toe besef ek dat ek kan 'n lewe maak van rugby want ek was redelik alright geweest by daai tyd. En toe maak ek besluit om voltyds in rugby in te gaan na skool. Ek het 'n gap jaar gevat. Ek het die WP gejoin by die WP Instituut. So my 19 jaar het ek voltyds net rugby gespeel. En toe net na dit toe gaan ek oor na Maties toe, nog steeds gekontrakteer by WP, maar nog nie regtig gedink aan studies en so nie. So my fokus was maar net nog altyd op rugby gewees en nou onlangs het ek maar bietjie begin fokus op my studies en so aan, mense moet maar kyk na daai dinge, maar ja, ek sal sê my liefde vir rugby maar begin op laerskoolvlak. Dis maar waar ek dink ons almal se liefde vir rugby begin.
Okay, en sê vir my, jy sê jy het in jou graad 9 jaar het jy oorgegaan na 'n groot skool toe. Wat is die grootste verskil wat jy kan agtergekom het, nou kon agterkom van 'n skool soos Brackenfell, wat 'n goeie skool is in hierdie area, tot 'n skool soos Pelgrim Gimnasium in terme van geleenthede wat jy gekry het en so aan?
Ja, dis 'n baie goeie vraag. Vir my persoonlik was dit meer soos hoe ernstig die ouens die spel gevat het. 'n Mens moet altyd die spel geniet en dis baie belangrik in my opsigte, maar daar's meer van 'n professionaliteit in groter skole soos jou Pelgrim, Walroos, al daai tipe skole wat bekend staan vir rugby. Daar's meer ook vir my soos die trots en tradisie wat 'n skool soos Pelgrim vir my geleer het, want by 'n skool soos Brackenfell is daar nou nie daai geskiedenis wat 'n Pelgrim gehad het nie, want as jy kyk net in my posisie van centers was daar baie groot name. Mense kyk na Marius Joubert en John de Villiers wat centers wat dan skei Skalkburger, dis 'n massive naam, Andre Pollard. Verstaan, so ons het daai tradisie, ons het daai trots vir daai try en dis iets wat ek geleer het by Gim wat my nogals wat ek nie gekry het by Brackenfell nie, want Brackenfell was maar vir my baie, jy speel maar net om dit te geniet. Daar's ouens soos Kortons Kosan en Jason Kolb, dis enigste ouens wat ek van Brackenfell af ken wat dit gemaak het. So mense sê dis moeiliker om dit te maak by kleiner skole en dis vir my is dit nogals waar. En by groter skole is jou afrigting bietjie beter, jy kry beter geleentheid en al daai dinge, so dit maak 'n impak vir my.
Ja, ek dink definitief. Ek was ook in 2010 toe ek graad 10 is, toe gaan ek na 'n groter skool toe vir die geleenthede en dit is waar dat jy sê dat jy in 'n groter skool gaan jy 'n klein bietjie meer geleenthede kry. Maar soos ek sê, dit is nog steeds van jou, dit hang nog steeds van jou af of jy dit gaan maak in daai opset.
Ja, 100%.
So, sê vir my dan in 2017 het jy jou debuut gemaak vir die Afrikaanse 7 span in Hong Kong. Wat het hierdie toernooi vir jou beteken? En wat het julle kop gegaan na eerste keer toe jy op die veld gehardloop het?
Ja, in 2017, toe ek nou soos jy gesê, toe ek my debuut gemaak het in Hong Kong, was ek 13de man. So ek was net ek was maar net daar as iemand beseer was. En ongelukkig, of gelukkig vir my, maar ongelukkig was Selwyn Davids het hy in die semifinaal teen Amerika die seer gekry, sy enkel seer gemaak. So toe net voor ons opgaan vir die finaal, toe sê coach Neil vir my, okay, maar ek gaan 13de man wees, so ek gaan nou ingaan, ek gaan nou speel. So vir my was dit nogal so 'n groot skok geweest, ek het nie gedink ek gaan speel nie. So vir my was dit regtig baie lekker om daai geleentheid te gekry het om by Hong Kong te speel, wat een van die grootste toernooie is in my opinie net na Kaapstad. Want dis juist waar alles begin het, die hele geskiedenis van sevens en die series en ons. So dit was vir my enorm geweest, net om voor 50.000 mense te speel vir jou land vir die eerste keer. Want voor dit het ek net al SA onder 18 sevens gespeel, maar nooit enigstens my land verteenwoordig in 15 man rugby nie. So vir my was dit regtig baie trotse oomblik. Ek onthou toe ek die volkslied sing, het ek gehuil. Ek het vir Selwyn Davids juist voor my gesien, want hy het saam met die coaches en so aangesit, so hy begin huil en dis toe ek begin huil het en shame, dit was sy eerste toernooi ook. So toe mis hy net daai hele ervaring van die volkslied sing en so aan. Maar dit is ongelukkig hoe die lewe van rugby is. En ja, dit is vir my awesome feeling om daai te kon beleef het. En toe na die tyd toe ek terugkom in die kamer waar ons goeders is, waar ons aantrek en so aan. Toe kyk ek net op my foon, toe is al die boodskappe van my vriende en familie en so aan, toe begin ek net weer te huil, want dit is net so 'n enorm oomblik wat jy besef wat sy impak het vir hulle ook is, want hulle is tog saam met jou op hierdie reis om dit professioneel te maak. So dit was 'n oomblik wat ek nooit in my lewe sal vergeet nie.
Ja. En soos ek sê, ek het nou gevra nie, was jy van die begin af op die veld, of het jy na die tweede helfte opgekom? Wat is dit dan, wat het jy op gegaan, toe jy opgehaal, wat was jou rol in die game?
Ja, kyk, 2017 was daar nog baie van die ouer ouens wat nog gespeel het, verstaan Phillips, Nyman, Carl Brown, al die groot name. So dit was net ek en Selwyn Davids as die enigste jong ouens wat nou nog bietjie speel. So daai tyd as jy op die bank was, het jy maar min tyd gekry. As jy lucky was jy soos 'n minuut of 2 gespeel. Verder die ouens is Carl en Chris en Philip, hulle het die hele game basies gespeel. So ek het letterlik die laaste, ek dink 30 sekondes opgekom. Ons het teen Fiji gespeel, ons het ver verloor, maar vir my het die saak gemaak, ek kon net opkom. Ek dink ek het een keer die bal geraak en 'n paas gedoen, maar dit was net daai soos ervaring van, okay, nou kan ek sê ek het vir my land opgespeel. Was dit net 30 sekondes. En van daar af was het net al beter.
Yeah. Brian, explain to me, on a typical tournament like Cape Town Sevens or the Vegas part of the series, what does your day look like from the morning that you wake up, going to the fields, because you sometimes play 2 or 3 games in one day, or matches. What does your day look like? How do you prepare for these matches? What is the recovery afterwards? Just give us some insight onto how does it work.
Yeah, so it depends on if it's a 2-day or a 3-day tournament. Most of the tournaments are 2 days, which I prefer. 3 days is a bit long on the mind and the body, so you get mentally fatigued and as well as physical fatigueness. So the morning will start, we'll wake up, then we'll do like an active recovery just to loosen the body. We'll just run up and down in the hallway, do some stretches, just activate because you've been sleeping for so long, you're stiff and so on. Then we'll normally go do a pool session. Then it's to breakfast, then the whole day starts, it's all strapping. We've got a pre-meeting where we just discuss what the objectives are of the day, and also we discuss our first opponent of the day. We always focus on the first opponent, we never focus on the second or third match, it's always just on that first opponent. Yeah, then it's just basically drive to the match. When we get there, we got like an hour to go sit in the stand, just absorb the whole atmosphere. I think that's very crucial, that you don't just go first whenever you play and then the whole atmosphere is just too big for you. So I really enjoy that. You sit with your earphones and just absorb the whole feeling and atmosphere of the crowd. Yeah, and then it's just, if you've got extra strapping to do, you can do that. And then it's a warm-up. A warm-up is very intense, to be honest. It's like 20 minutes, full on, 8 out of 10. And then yeah, you go play afterwards. We do like an active recovery. We'll go do like stretching, foam rolling, stuff like that, just to loosen the body again. You can go to massages, stuff like that. They always encourage us to go eat something afterwards, catch a shower.
After the match.
After the match, yeah, and then it's just preparation for the next match because we play three matches per day.
So tell me, do you go back to your hotel? Do you stay in the stands or in the facility, or is there sometimes time you have to go back to the hotel and go back? Where do you stay?
So in my 20 tournaments I played, we only went back to the hotel in Paris once. Normally we just stay there because it's like three hours and you play again, but it's actually not 3 hours, it's like 2 hours because you need to go to your recovery, preparation, all that stuff. So you've got like 2 hours before we play again. So no, we always stay there. That's just central. It's like a big hall where we normally stay, and all the teams each have their own cubicles, and we just do our stuff there.
And tell me, is there any team in the world that when you see that you have to play them next, you're like, okay, this is a difficult team to beat. We all know that the All Blacks and Fiji and those Samoa teams, they are tough to beat, but is there one team that stands out for you, or was a team for South Africa? Just give us some insight there. Yeah,
when I started 2017, it was mostly just Fiji and the All Blacks, but the game progressed so much. Any team is beatable at any given time. I remember 2018 we almost lost in the quarterfinals against Spain, which is a football playing nation. So we had to go to extra time in the quarterfinals just to beat them. And luckily Justin Goodall went over and scored. So the game evolved so much that there's no easy teams at the moment. But for me, mentally, to be able to switch on, it's probably Fiji, because you know it's going to be a long day if you don't shut them down. They love the flairness and skills of the game, but they generally don't like the physicality of the game, and that's where we try and target them. As well as the All Blacks, they love the physical nature of the game, so they're always going to target you at the rucks, at defense, stuff like that. They want to bully you, kind of. Same as Samoa, Australia, they're bigger than us, because we're normally the smallest team on the circuit. The other teams are way bigger than us, but we pride ourselves on defense. I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, we're very small compared to the other teams, so it's a mental and attitude. We try to adapt, and Coach Neil tries to envision us doing that, because we need to be more mental tough than the other teams, hence we're smaller than them. So for me, mentally will be Fiji, because you know it's going to be a long day. Physically, it's that Islanders, it's the Samoans, the Kenyans is also very physical. So
yeah. Tell me, Ryan, as you were growing up in school, when you were at the Rugby Institute, and now where you are now, is there any lessons that you've learned through the game of rugby, like life lessons? What was your biggest breakthrough moment? That's a broad question, but can you just give us some? What do you think will be?
Yeah, I think sport is very applicable to life. There's a lot of lessons you can learn in sport that goes over into life. I remember, as a funny story, but I remember grade 7, I wasn't actually chosen for the under-13 sevens team. I wasn't chosen. I didn't make the team. I don't know why, but anyway. And yeah, I'm playing for my country. So, and that can happen. It's a life lesson. You can maybe not get the opportunity, the job opportunity. It might happen, but it's how you react to those situations. So I could have just said, okay, I'm going to quit that. I don't want to play sevens anymore. But you have to keep on fighting. You have to make a way of it if you want to make it in life. For me personally, I've learned a lot through playing rugby. The whole injuries does take a toll on you mentally, because you have to get yourself back there. You can't just go lie and get yourself or feel sorry for yourself. So yeah, I'll definitely encourage people to play rugby, to play sports. I definitely believe that you can learn stuff. There's definitely life lessons to be learned. I remember under 19, I also didn't make the starting team, and I thought I really deserved it, but I didn't get myself, or didn't feel sorry for myself, and eventually I did play the whole season when someone got injured. So you just have to be ready for when an opportunity knocks, hence why I say you can't feel sorry for yourself.
Great, tell me, this is and it's going to be a tough question. In matric you played for the first team for your school. If you had to pick that match against boys in the Forest Street inter-schools match in comparison to your World Cup debut, in your Hong Kong debut, which of those two would you say is going to top the list?
That's a different.
Sorry to put you on the spot there, but it's something I always wonder, like what is bigger? Because both are on big stadiums.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I've never actually got that question. Yes, I don't know. I always say, like, to play for your country, it's not in everyone's boots to play for their country. But I'm not taking anything away from playing in Forest Street for your first team. It's an awesome feeling. Like, for schoolboys, that's probably like the pinnacle of any schoolboy's rugby playing career. Like playing in front of like 25 to 30,000 people for your school. It's an awesome feeling. That's something I still remember to this day. But hence, I'll always speak playing for the green and gold, playing for the Springboks or Blitzboks, over playing for a school team.
I think that's a fair answer. Tell me, when you were growing up, was there a specific coach that had a big impact on you, motivated you to take your rugby more seriously and to take it further as a career as well?
Yeah, I actually got asked that question a while ago. There's a funny story. When I went over from Brackenfell to Paul Gym, there was a coach there that he basically told me I'm not going to make it. He basically said that the competition at Paul Gym is too big for me. I won't be able to play there. So I use him. I'm not going to name names, but I use him as motivation, to be honest. And then when I got to Paul Gym, yes, the coaches was awesome there. I remember, you probably remember Christoph Lotte. He was the first team coach there. And yes, he backed me a lot. He gave me so much confidence in myself. And I truly believe, as coaches, you mustn't have favourites, but you need to instill trust and confidence into your players. And that's exactly what he did. And he made me believe so much in myself. And I just flourished under him.
Sure. Yeah, I remember. I mean, being in a big school like that, you've got top quality coaches, but I could see when you guys ran onto the field. Just the amount of confidence that you guys, because you need to have, if you play in a big match like Paul Gym versus Paul Boys, you need to be full of confidence, and that obviously comes from the coaching staff.
Yeah, exactly.
So, tell me, Ryan, last question, what I wanted to ask you is, a lot of the parents in the area, it's a big question about should their kids do sport, what are the benefits for it, of it. Would you, if you have to speak to all of them, would you encourage them to have their kids participate in sport, and why? Is there any benefits to it? What would be your opinion on that?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think I mentioned it earlier. I'll always encourage parents to let their children participate in sports. Like I said, all life lessons, what you get taught, all working hard to achieve a target together as a team or individual. Hence, you play individual sports such as swimming or tennis, whatever sport it might be. But I always encourage children to participate in sports. I think it's such a crucial aspect of growing up, the whole life lessons you learn, teammates, friendships. I always encourage them, but I always say studies must come first. It's very, very difficult to make it in the professional environment. The competition is so tough. So for me personally, I'll say focus on your studies and use that to further you, because not everyone is going to make it professional, but use the sporting aspect to enjoy school, make friends. That's also going to teach you life lessons, and if you're lucky enough to make it professional, that's good for you, but you always have that backup of having a good education behind you, and you can go to a good varsity, you can play sports there, Varsity Cup, it's a massive platform as well. So my focus would have been mostly on the studies aspect, and then also on sports coming second.
And last question, Ryan, already wanted to we appreciate everything that you said. I think I agree, I definitely agree with the studies coming first, and I think what's very similar to your answers that you gave now in terms of the sport is very similar to the previous individuals that we've interviewed before, about the life lessons that you learn, and while maintaining all your studies, studying aspect, that you maintain the friendships that you learn through sports, and I think that it's crucial. Tell me, last one, I promise is the last question. What is your plans for the rest of the year? Is the Blitzboks attempting to train for the rest of the year? What is your plans for the rest of 2020? Yeah,
so we're starting beginning of August, middle of August, we're going to start training together. We all know the whole series is cancelled, so we are hoping to be able to play Dubai and Cape Town. It's going to be massive. But yeah, let's just get back into training, get back to full fitness, because you know the whole game of sevens is way more difficult than a normal game of 15s in terms of fitness and conditioning. So it's going to take us at least a month or two to get back to the peak fitness what we were. So yeah, it's just we're looking forward to be able to train together and see all the people again. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Alright, all the best for the rest of the year and also for the rest of your career. We'll be definitely keeping an eye out for you, and we really appreciate your time for coming out. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks.